I would say we're in the thick of it right now,
Okay.
really. And then as we head later this morning and into the early afternoon, things should gradually begin to quiet back down. So right now, folks, I know maybe you're sitting in North Florida and you're thinking it's not that big of a deal, but really, I mean, we're talking about a Cat 4 that we had on our hands first thing this morning at 5 a.m. A major hurricane making landfall in the Big Bend of Florida. So, I mean, it's just incredible to think. Yes, it does. I want to kind of point out the fact that the satellite and radar composite is a little interesting, right? So first thing this morning, we were talking about the compactness of the eye wall and how it was able to intensify with all that lightning when it was still offshore. Then as it was making landfall, it really seemed like it wanted to kind of reorganize itself, create a bigger eye wall so it could create essentially down the line a bigger, stronger storm. Of course, it ran out of time because it made landfall, so that eye wall replacement was not able to officially occur. So we've got that tight eye still happening, but we've got a lot of dry air that seems to have wrapped itself in on the southern side of the storm. We have those strong breezes out of the south, and so yes, there is a lot of rainfall that's really on the northern or the left side of this storm versus the dirty side that we've been talking about. However, don't just sleep on it at this point, because we still have those feeder bands. And remember, it's 9:30 in the morning, right? Where any little heating that we get could aid in some spin ups with these feeder bands. So while we are watching Idalia's course still has lots of lightning in it moving over the Suwannee and that I-75 corridor officially, Valdosta is going to see this. They're seeing the strongest of it right now, but it's going to head out toward Waycross, and then we're going to watch these tropical tails continue to move on by. There have been active warnings, tornado warnings, that have been posted from Tampa to Orlando, that I-4 corridor and this feeder band right here. That's really from about St. Augustine down through the Tampa, St. Pete, Lakeland area. That will continue to rotate toward the east. And so Robert and I watching the southern edges of these feeder bands very closely, because as they head toward the coast, remember, that's our main threat as of now and moving forward for those tornado warnings. So really, I would say this is going to make its way toward the Daytona Beach area. So we'll be keeping an eye on St. Johns and Flagler counties. Those of you who have been thinking, whew, I'm in the clear. All right, so we just want to keep an eye on those. So I cannot stress enough the wind threat for southeast Georgia, because they're closer to the core of this Category 2 hurricane right now. Not only that, but the isolated tornado threat with any of those feeder bands that we see near the coast in the next couple of afternoons. Keitha, Rich?